ain't no stuff now. What's going on? Holla. Holla if you hear me. Ain't no stopping us now. Today, you know the Eagles are playing, so please forgive me for not letting us know earlier that the time would have changed. But because I'm committed to this time, we're on here. Okay? Eagles. Let's go, Eagles. Yes. Okay, I don't own the rights to this music, so let me cut this off right now because I don't want them to touch my video. Hi, guys. How are you? Happy Sunday, and thank you for joining me for Happy Hour with Miss Melanie. 1 hour of happy. We come on every Sunday at this time, but we're going to change the time a little bit according to the football season. Woo! Let's go, Eagles. But we come on to encourage moms. You know what I mean? We started off this program, encouraging young moms. You know what I mean? Because I was a young mom and I had no direction or nothing. I was just a young mom with a baby. So I didn't have nothing like this to, go to every Sunday and get a little word or get a little encouragement. So we come on, 1 hour every Sunday to encourage you, to make sure that in order for you to be the good mom that you are, that you need to take some time for yourself. Everything can't go to the kids. Everything can't go to the man. You need to make some time for yourself. So we encourage you to take at least 1 hour every single day. It's like a prescription for medication. Take at least 1 hour a day, every day, to do something that you like, to make you happy. In order for you to be a great mom like you are, you need some time for yourself. You need to, exhale. You know what I mean? You need to come down, you know what I mean? And tap into you so that you can be a better mom for your children. So thank you for joining me today for Happy Hour with Miss Melanie, 1 hour of happy. I want you to, we're talking about, are you a good mom? And we want moms to tap in. We want you to tap in. And even if children are out there, we want to know what constitutes of being a good mom. Are you a good mom? Do you think you're a good mom? Well, as for me, I am a great mom. I believe that. However, there's things that I can still learn. There's things that I'm still learning. And also, the biggest thing that I had to learn is that, I make mistakes. You know what I mean? I do make mistakes as a mom. I didn't get everything right. I don't profess to be the perfect mom, but I feel like I'm a good mom. I feel like I'm a great mom. You know what I mean? And I believe that for you too. So I need your feedback today because this is a part 1. Next week I'm going to have a guest with me, but this is a part 1 because we want to really get into that and talk about that because there is some hard decisions sometimes that you have to make as a mom, which you may not feel like you are a great mom, or your kids may not feel like you're a great mom. But today, I want you to know that you are doing a great job. Whatever job you're doing a great job. And I want you to know that you are human and that you will make mistakes on this journey. You know what I mean? I had a baby. I was pregnant at 14 years old. Oops. Yes, I said it, 14 years old, and I had a baby at 15. That's a whole nother story. We will not get into it today. But if you buy my book, title, I Decided to Laugh, you will get the whole story, the full story, nothing but the story in here about me being a mom at 14 years old, and a lot of other stuff. Talk about childhood trauma and how I, saw it and what it did and what roads and what decisions I made. It's a whole lot in there. You need to get it because it's good to have. It's good to know. And if you're newsy, you want to know people's business, that's good to have it too because it's raw, it's juicy, it's me, it's all about me. You know what I mean? So if it's a good read. It really is a good read, and you'll learn a lot from it. You know what I mean? From my mistakes, I want you to learn from my mistakes. You know what I mean? So anyway, I want you to interact with me on here because I'm not the end-all, be-all. I'm not the best mom that there is. I'm the best mom to my children. but I may, I can learn too. So we're just opening up the conversation because we want you, you know what I mean? We want you to talk about your experience as a mom, because every experience is a different experience, and it's an individual experience as a mom. And we all could learn from each other. So I'm glad that you're here today. But if you're watching the Eagles, I understand, because I was watching them before I came on, and I was so mad that I didn't change the time. But because we do it every week at the same time, I decided to watch I watched the first half. When it went to halftime, I had to come on because it was my time to come on. But I will be watching the second half when I get off. Thank God for the new TVs. You know what I mean? Because you could go back and look at what you didn't look at. So anyway. So we want to know. The question is posed today: are you a good mom? Are you a good mom? I want you to interact with me, everybody, in the comments, because this is a good topic, and it's not just my view. I want to know your views as well. So again, thank you so much for joining me today for Happy Hour with Miss Melanie, 1 hour of happy. We want to encourage you. We want to encourage you. We want to encourage you to make some time for yourself. Take at least, so we're starting you off with at least 1 hour. If you can start with 1 hour doing something that makes you happy. Maybe you want to sit down with a cup of tea and just chill out, you know what I mean, and go over the day, the day's journey or something like that. Or, take a walk, or, go for a swim, go for a drive, listen to some music, get on the phone. When you get on the phone talking to your girlfriend, don't gossip. Don't gossip, but laugh. Talk about things that make you laugh. Talk about things you want to do, travel, all these kinds of things. You don't have to run nobody down to have a good conversation. I'm telling you right now, you do not have to have run people down. I get on the phone with my sister and we cracks it up about, just things. And, she's older than me, so she tries to tell me what to do. When she gets to that, I said, girl, go ahead on, child. Talk to you later. But, get on the phone if you, miss your girlfriend or something, to just talk. There are things that you can do for you to center you, or just to do something that's exciting for you. There is a lot of things. When we, in the research that I've done, when we take some time for our own self, it makes us, it makes us, it makes us make better decisions. You know what I mean? When you're not so frustrated all the time, when you're not upset all the time, when you're not thinking about the things that you could have, should have, or would have done. You know what I mean? It gives you a calmer attitude and a better approach to things when you make sure that you do something that makes you happy. So I just want you to remember that. And take that with you. And if you start off with 1 hour, you know you're going to go to 2. You know you're going to go to 3. You know what I mean? When you get the chance. But mothers, I want you to know, and everybody, this is for everybody. I realize that this is universal. It's not just for mothers. I started with mothers, but I got a lot of people who come on that are not mothers. So I want you to know, you got to be like T.I. to keep a cool head and stay out of the news. You know what I mean? So we want to make sure that we keep a cool head. And how do we do that? When we decide to do something to make us happy. Okay? So make sure you start with 1 hour, 60 minutes. 60 minutes, 1 hour, and then maybe you can get 2, 3, or 4. Maybe you can get a whole day. You know what I mean? Where you can go get a massage or get a facial. You know what I mean? Get hair and nails done. Just do something for you to make you feel happy. Okay? All right. Hi, cuz. How you doing? So we're talking about being a good mother. Are you a good mother? And I want your interaction. I really, really do, because this is not based on me. It's about us. Are we doing a good job? Now, as I started out, I said that, I'm a great mom. I feel like I'm the best mom ever for my kids. I know I have not done everything right. I know I have not dotted crossed every T and dotted every I. I know that I've made some mistakes. I know that I have done some things in front of my children that I just wish could be erased. But I made mistakes along the way, and I did something about those mistakes. You know what I mean? What I did was I owned it. I owned my mistakes, and I asked them to forgive me. And one thing I found out about kids will love you through whatever. They really will. But you have to be accountable for the mistakes that you've made. Also, I want you to know that this is one thing that I harp on, and you will hear it every time I come on. Make sure you forgive yourself, because sometimes, our kids have a way of making us feel guilty or keeping us on a guilt trip, and we even can do that to ourselves without even knowing. So you have to forgive yourself. You own what you've done and forgive yourself, and time will heal the wounds. And you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to brag about it. Time will heal wounds. Okay? So that's something else we're getting today. I want you to know that being a good mom. Hi, First Lady Tammy. How you doing, my love? I want you to know that being a good mom is not always easy. Being a good mom is sometimes making some decisions that your kids aren't happy with. They're not favorable with your kids. You know what I mean? And when you are making a decision like that, they don't always understand at first. They may be mad, they may be heartbroken, but they don't always understand. But you know why you said what you said, or you know why you made the decision that you made. And it's because, and I tell the kids this all the time, I've lived some life. I made the mistakes so that you won't make them. In hopes that you won't make them. So I make sure that for me, I tell them the truth. I don't sugarcoat it. I tell them like the streets will tell them. I tell them the truth, because if they're going to hear it, hi my love, if they're going to hear it, I want them to hear it at home before they go out in the street. You have to tell these kids the truth. You have to tell these kids the truth. And even if they're mad, it's okay. Because you may think they don't hear you, but they hear you. Now, if they're rebellion, they may be rebellion. But once they get into some trouble, that word will come back to you. I'm gonna give you an example. And you probably didn't seen this, and if you didn't, I'm just giving you some, little tea. T.I., he's the rapper that I mentioned early on when I said keep a cool head and stay out of the news. So he was telling his son on the show, he was telling his son, you got to stop doing what you're doing, because I see some stuff that you're doing that I did. I see you in me. I see me in you. I'm sorry. And he said, if you keep on doing all that, trying to be this bad boy, because you're not a bad boy. You're coming up in a okay, I see you, niece. You're not a bad boy, and I see, you're coming up in a good neighborhood, but you want to be a streets boy. If you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to wind up in jail. So recently he got pulled over by the cops. He got a whole gun in his pocket. When the officers stopped him and came to the car, the little boy was scared. But he got this gun in his pocket. He's smoking weed, and he's acting like he's untouchable, because he's T.I.'s son, and T.I. is the mayor, quote unquote, of Atlanta. So he felt like I'm untouchable. Well, when the cops pulled him over, they ran his name, and the first thing he say is, "My father. Do you know my father?" And they said, "Well, who is your father?" He said, T.I. And the one officer said, "No, I don't know T.I." But the other officer said, "Yeah, I know T.I." "Oh, you T.I. son?" He said, "Yeah, I'm T.I. son." Because what he was doing now is realizing that his behind was going to be in some trouble. So then he started using his resources. He said, "Do you know my father?" "No, you so bad. You smoking weed. You got a whole gun in your pocket." When they open the door, they just take the gun out of his pocket, because he got it right in his pocket. "Oh, you get my shoot, boy." And so When they run his name, they realize he has a warrant. So they lock him up. And he was so scared. But in that moment, whatever his father told him came back to him. Because the first thing he said was, officer, do you know my father? He was very compliant. He did not, he was not rough tough. He didn't talk tough or anything. He was very compliant with the officers. And he wanted them to understand, do not hurt me because I am T.I.'s son. So all of that rough and tough went out the window because now your dad is not here and you're facing this by yourself. So now he's remembering what his father told him. But what has happened is he got a warrant. He didn't even go to court for something else, and now they got to take him in. So he went to court apparently or whatever. So now it's coming to his sentencing. And the judge is saying 5 years. The boy passed out. Why? Because you're so tough. You got a gun. Because you got a gun that somebody done gave you this gun. This is not a registered gun. You don't even know what somebody did with this gun before you got this gun. But you big, bad, and tough. So I say all that to say that our kids, when we talk to them, when we have to tell them something that is it's a hard tell, when we got to tell them something hard, and it seems like it's hurting them, or it seems like it's rough, or it seems like it seems like they don't want to hear it. It seems like they're being rebellion to what they're hearing. They hear you. Trust and believe. They hear you. Because when they get themselves into that situation, oh, it comes back. I'm a witness. Because let me tell you one thing. I'm on here now. And the only reason why I could be on here is because I've lived this life. Like, I was a rebellion person, a rebellion kid. I thought I had good reason to be rebellion. And if you read my book, you'll find out why. But I didn't want to listen. And let me tell you one thing. God has been good to me. Because a lot of trouble that I should have got in, or that I could have gotten into, it seems like when I was in it, he just snatched me out of it. Because I guess he needed me for the day to talk about it here. I don't know, but I thank God that he did. You know what I mean? But let me tell you one thing. Everything that your mother told you, it will come back to you once you face whatever it is that she said don't do. I did a whole bunch of things, and now I understand why I did those things, but I was angry. I felt like I was not seen. I felt like I was not heard. I felt like nobody cared. I felt like nobody loved me. And this is why kids do things that they do. Didn't want to go this way, but I'm going this way. So we as mothers, because I'm speaking to mothers, we as mothers, when we have more than one child, we got to realize that they're not all the same, and that they don't all need the same they can't all get the same treatment. You know what I mean? Like, when you have different kids, there's different personalities. So as a mother, you know how to deal with this one, deal with that one, and deal with this one. I have 3 daughters, and they are not the same. They are not the same. They all are different, and they all make sure that I deal with them differently, because they're not the same person. And you can't, make them the same person. Every child is different. You're right, First Lady Tammy. Every child is different, and they all have different needs. We can't always deal with them the same. You can't have the same conversation that you had with your oldest child with your youngest child, because it may not resonate with the youngest child. You got to meet the youngest child where the youngest child is and what's going on in the younger child's life. So, being a good mother doesn't always mean that you have great days. You know what I mean? I have very good conversations with my daughter. I have very good times with my daughters. I love for them to pamper me. I love for them to hang out with me. But then there's sometimes, even as grown kids, I have to say some things that may not be um, favorable to them. And when it's not favorable, the attitude comes. And you have to be able to know that the attitude, that's not going to bother me. Because what I say, when I say something to you, when when I have to make a judgment or a decision, it's because I love you. And I want you to get it right. Because I didn't get it right. And when I didn't get it right, I fell. So if I'm telling you something, it's not because I don't love you. If I'm telling you something, it's not because I don't care. I'm trying to save you from falling. But there's some times when they're going to fall. And that's what hurts me the most. Because if I try to help you and you fall, I feel like a failure. So we're talking about, are you a good mom? Because, being a good mom is not always easy. Being a good mom is not always pleasant. Being a good mom doesn't always come across like you're being a good mom. But you're 100% being a good mom. You're 100% being a good mom. So give me some feedback in the chat. Come on, y'all. We talking. It's not all about me. And I want to know, what are the ingredients to being a good mom? I want to know, what do you think a good mom, what qualities do you think a good mom should have? I feel like one of them is honesty. I think you should be honest with your children. I know this young lady, her daughter said, my mom don't tell me nothing. I don't know nothing about my mother's life. That's a good one to be, the spending time. That's a very good quality to have as a good mom, spending time with your children. You need to spend time with your children. Spending time makes memories. Spending time is a good quality to have for your children, to spend time with them, because there's memories, picture taking, you know what I mean? When you look back on these pictures, oh, we was here or we was there and we had some fun. I have a picture from last Christmas where we were in Palm Springs, and we went on this trail, and we all had on the same same jumpsuit, and we were just the talk of the whole excursion. We really was. Everybody kept looking at us and, oh, where'd you get them from? Oh, that's a nice idea. You know what I mean? And it was so much fun. We were spending time, and we made memories, and we had the pictures. Some of the girls hate the pictures, but all them pictures, I love them. I just love them. We all looked frumpy and all this, we looked probably country or corny or whatever, but it was fun. It was really fun. And I see Davita said, having the hard conversations. Listen, that's a great quality at being a good mom. Having the hard conversations, because we have those conversations because we love our kids. We love our kids, and we don't want to see them falling down a black hole. I always talk about this, about seeing this young man. I'm not going to get all into it, but it was the sentencing of this young man who he murdered my little nephew. And and we came to the sentencing. It was during COVID, so we'd seen it on TV. And he was crying. Now, you were so big and bad, but you were crying. So I could, when they were sentencing him, and I can just imagine um, what the conversations probably had been, if there was any conversation before that, because his mother was on there and she was at work while they were sentencing him. So I can imagine, and even if she didn't, for me, I felt like there had to be some conversations, or he had to have seen some people go down this same road before he went down this road. And now you want your mother to come up there and see you. You want her to accept these phone calls when you call. You want her to put money on your books, and you want her to do this time with you. Because how you feel if your mother don't come up there, or if she don't send money for your toiletries, or if she don't take the calls. But you got yourself into this. So I think that having the hard conversations are very important. They're very necessary, and that makes you a good mom to have a hard conversation. I don't want you hanging with those guys. They're going nowhere fast. But what do we have? What programs, what do we have to counter that? Because when they go outside, they're outside and they have to stand in this stuff. So we'll get back to that. What do we have? Okay, so I'm going to look at the comments. So First Lady Tammy said, hubby and I take time for each other. Hubby and I take time for each one of our adult children, giving them their own time and space. Great. I love that. I love that. You have still made your kids important. And you and your husband take time for each one of your children. Oh, that showing your children that you care and that they matter. Excellent. 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 Oh my gosh, we got some good mothers on here. I always let you know, though, I think you're great moms. I think you're great moms. But I love that. Showing them that you care, no matter how old they are and no matter what. Letting them know that they have a support system. If it's nothing more than just, we're praying for you. We love you. I love that. Davita said, knowing things that your children like to do. That's excellent too. You know what I mean? Having, maybe once a month, go out. We'll all have a family outing. Go out bowling. Let's take the grandkids somewhere, or do something, or come over to the house. We'll have game night or something. The inclusion, family inclusion, is great. When you see your children, your adult children, when you see them, you can tell what's going on, and let them know that the door is always open. They can always talk to you. And one thing that I always mention is, do not talk down to your children or at your children. Talk to your children. Now, we've all made a mistake. I've done that. Oh, but these kids that I have, they tell me, well, hey, Mom, can we talk? Because I don't like how you know what I mean? So this was early on. I had to really get it together because, no, I don't want you to chastise us, like that. Now, if you're chastising, okay. Because I used to say stuff like, oh, God, just like that father. And that was not, that wasn't good. And the way I was saying it was not, saying that they had good attributes. I was saying the bad qualities. And my kids had to have a conversation with me. They said, now, come on, Mom. Now, if you chastising us for something, we're fine with that. But the bringing in the extra stuff makes us feel like, you're angry with him, so you taking that out on us. So we had to work on that. I had to work on that, and I had to apologize. I had to own it. and I had to apologize. Now we have conversations. And if I'm angry, I don't have conversations um, with my girls if I'm angry. I have to wait because now I've realized I don't want to say anything to hurt their feelings or say anything that's not right. I love you, son. My son is on here. Keith is on here. I love you so much. Um, Davita said, letting them know you have their backs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always. Letting them know you have their back through thick and thin, no matter what. You have their backs. But we have to be honest with them and we have to tell them the truth. And when they are doing something that is not right, we have to tell them. More times we see something before they see something. And it's better to speak up, call it out, call it to the carpet, and let them know that this is where you're headed. So if you keep on doing what you're doing, this is what you're going to get. And that's the bottom line. That's what makes you a great mother. That's what makes you a great mom. You know what I mean? It's good to go shopping and hang out and have family nights and everything, but the hard decisions is even the better ones. They really, really are, because that's a time for teaching. They're teaching lessons. They are times when you are giving your best advice, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you love your child, and you don't want to see your child go through what you went through, or you don't want to see your child go down the wrong road. Because when they go outside, they're going to face some things. They're going to face some things. But what they get from home before they go outside will protect them. So First Lady Tammy said, whatever you do or say, do it out of love and not out of anger. Bingo. 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 They will not receive it if you're yelling. They will rebel against whatever it is that you're trying to teach them or tell them. Say it in love. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. One thing that I learned, when you're talking and you just talk like this and say, here it is, I'm going to give it to you this way and I'm going to give it to you that way. And you have to make your own decisions. Oh, let me tell you one thing. That gets them worse than yelling. When you have yourself at an even tone and say, okay, but I'm going to tell you, if you do it this way, this is going to happen. If you do it that way, that's going to happen. And it's going to give you the best results. But you have your own mind. You make your own choices. You do your own thing. And honey, when you come off of that aggression, when you come off of that anger, when you come out of love, boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's what gives them, that's what put them in the thinker mode. Like, they like, what time is mommy on? Well, okay. Or they'll call you back when they leave out and say, you know what, mom, you was right. Because they can hear you. When you're yelling, more times the kids just shut it off. They shut it off. But when we're talking to them and giving it to them plain and letting them know, you can do whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you. And one thing that I implicated in the conversation is, yeah, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt me too. Because I'm your mom and I'm going to have to go through this with you. So when you do that and you make a decision to do that, you're not only hurting yourself, you're going to hurt me too. Because whatever you get yourself into, because I love you, I'm going to have to dive in there and get you out. You know what I mean? That's going to hurt me too. My life is going to change because of the decisions that you've made. Because you got to keep it real. You got to make it real. And they understand, because I'm going to tell you again, when you're talking to your children, they hear you. Now, it's two different ways. If you talk to them, out of love and just giving it to them, they hear you right away. But if you're yelling, block it. But once they get into that trouble, it clicks back in, and they hear you. They hear you. One way or the other, they're going to hear you. But I would rather my child hear me when I'm talking out of love, when I'm just giving it to them, when we're just sitting down, And with girls, I have learned be real and authentic. That's that bingo. That's the truth. Be real with them and authentic, because nobody loves them more than you, except for the Lord. Nobody loves them more than you. So when you're giving them the advice or telling them something hard, let them know I love you and I don't want to see you make the wrong decisions. And you should be able, as a good mom, to talk to your child about anything. Anything. Letting them know that you got their backs through anything and everything. And that's all they really want is security. They want to know that whatever, my mom, my parents are there. My mom, my dad is there. You know what I mean? And but I want you to know it's not always making hard decisions as a mom. Also, you got to know when to say something. Because every time you can't just say something. Sometimes you can't say anything. What happens when you can't say anything? You can't say anything and you gotta wait. Because I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn not to speak everything when it was happening in real time. I had to learn that I couldn't, if I seen it, just speak on it. You gotta wait for the right time. You gotta wait for the right time for them to receive it. And you're right, you gotta pray. You gotta pray. But I had a bad habit as I see it, I say it. And that wasn't good. That wasn't good because your timing has to be on point. You pray and you wait. That's right. I had to learn that because, and then I had to learn that everything wasn't for everybody. Like if I would say something, I would say it, and maybe the other girls were there, and it wasn't even the right space to even be revealing what I'm revealing. So I had to learn that. Mothers, you got to learn that. Even though we're jumping in, we think we're doing what's right. Sometimes you got to just wait. Pray about it and just wait. Just leave it there. Because the opening will come when you have an opportunity to say something. And when you're able to say something, it would be received. Yes, son, you got to always pray. You got to always pray. You can't let up on the praying. You got to always pray. You got to stay in prayer for your kids. You have to stay in prayer for your kids. If you don't do anything else, I don't care what religion you are, you got to stay in prayer. You got to pray for your kids. You really do. You got to pray for them. And like I said, I had to learn that I could not just say everything. I could not just say anything. And, this is how, this is how your kids know, that you do have their back. You know what I mean? Because then they'll come to you. When you haven't said anything about the situation, they'll come to you. They will come to you. Can I talk to you for a minute? Or mom. Or they'll just sit down and start talking. They'll just sit down and start talking. And then you'll, and sometimes you just got to be quiet and let them talk. You can't interject. You can't interrupt. They just want to get it out. And more times I'll say, well, do you want me just to listen, or do you want to hear what I have to say? Because um, sometimes they don't want you to say anything. And I had to learn that. Timing is everything. Being a good mom sometimes is just listening. Just listening. Then you know what to pray for. But sometimes they don't want to hear what you have to say right away. So I had to learn when they're talking just to listen. Can I say something? Do you want advice, or do you just want to talk? And when they want to talk, just let them talk. And say, okay, love you. And just leave it there, because your advice is great and they'll double back for the advice. But if you put it in prayer, they'll come back and they'll say something to you. Are you a good mom? I want to know if you're a good mom. Yes, Davida, I had to learn that too. I had to learn that. That didn't just come. It was trial and error. I had to learn that, because I was one, when I seen it, I spoke it. And well, you need to, and you need to, and you need to, and you need to. I was that age before. I was that age before. Nah, that don't work. And I had to learn that too, my love. I had to learn that. Yeah, I was that age and I did this, and I made this mistake, and I did this, and I made this mistake. The hardest time that my girls had in their lives was when they turned 14. And I'm going to tell you why. All three of them. I'm going to tell you why. Because I became pregnant at 14. I was young. I was dumb. I did not know a lot, especially about sex. I didn't know a lot. And my not having a lot of knowledge allowed so many different things to happen because I did not know. However, when I first got pregnant, I knew. When I left, I knew I was pregnant. I ain't gonna say for some strange reason, the Holy Ghost let me know. I knew that I was pregnant, and I was just like, it came in my mind, and I just left it. But yeah. First Lady Tammy said, every day I'm learning how to be a better mom every day, and that's great. That is great. That's what makes you a great mom. That's what makes you a good mom, because every day is a learning experience for us as well. We learn something different every single day. I don't care if you have one child or 10 children. Every day you learn something different as a mother. You really, really do. And I'm going to tell you something. Implement it. Implement it into your being a mother. Use that. Whatever you learned, use it. If you've messed up, own it, apologize, and move on. If there's no space to apologize, pray about it and move on. But as long as you own it, meaning that you recognize what you did, or the mistake that you made, or something that didn't work, because a lot of things don't work. And that's okay. That's okay. A lot of things don't work. And you have to move on. You have to own it, see it, and move on. Don't stay there. Don't ponder on it. Just move on. Because tomorrow is another learning lesson that you need to get. And if you stay in there, you may miss that one. Every day you learn something new. And you learn something new about your children every day. You're right. You won't know unless you try. You'll learn something new about your children. I learn every day about my 3 daughters. And I'm sure they learn stuff about me too. But Um, Something that you may not have seen when they were younger, you may see it clearly now. Or you may have seen it when they were younger, but it wasn't nothing to focus on until they got older. But now that you see it, hone in on it. Watch it. Give advice if you need to. I want you to know that children are the most forgiving, they are the most loving, and they love you through anything. You see some um, mothers and their kids, they're out there. They're on drugs, they're on alcohol, and their kids keep coming to help them, to try to help them get on the right page. Or you may see some kids whose mother may have given them up when they were kids, and they just want to find her. They just want to know her, because kids are the most forgiving. All they want you to do is own what you've done and apologize, because their hearts are made to forgive you because they love you. Kids are the most forgiving, and they will forgive you. They just want to know that you know whatever it was, that how you handled the situation, that you know that it hurt them or that they didn't like it or whatever, and that you'll change. That you'll change. And they still got you on the best moms list. They still have you on the best moms list because they are the most forgiving. You know yourself about your mother. Whatever happened in your younger days, you've forgiven your mom. And my mother is deceased, and I wish she was here to make up for some days that I was angry and that I felt that I wasted. But I forgave her for everything that I thought she did. And I own my stuff, and I forgive myself. Okay? Don't allow pride to ask for forgiveness or simply apologize. Don't allow pride to ask for forgiveness or simply apologize. Elaborate on that, First Lady Tammy. Don't allow pride to enter. Are you saying don't allow pride to not allow you to apologize or ask for forgiveness? Because pride is one of those big ones where you done something, you know you done something, and you don't want to acknowledge it because you the mother. And I said what I said. We have to come off of that, because it's not hurting nobody but our kids. And you standing on, pride, I'm standing on that because I said what I said. No. Sometimes you could say things that you know hurt them. And you have to make that right. Because that's a scar that will traumatize. And that's a scar that will put a wedge in between your relationship. And that's a scar that causes a child to cause a deaf ear, to have a deaf ear to whatever you're saying because of that scar. Yes, don't allow pride to stop you from asking for forgiveness or simply just apologizing. I figured that's what you were trying to say, my love. And that's right. Don't allow pride. Because, listen, we're human and we make mistakes. And that doesn't mean that that doesn't define us as being a bad mom. We're a good mom. We're good mothers. We really are. Because this job that we do, the job that we do is the greatest job in the world to do. To raise up a child. You are responsible for everything that this child does, that you pour into this child. When you look at this child and this child's life, you have to understand that it was because of you. Whatever you poured into this child, it's going to speak, it's going to stand out. So we have to be very careful about what we are pouring into our children. And when you're saying stuff to them, like one of the things that I didn't do, I didn't curse at my kids because I hated my mother cursing at me. So I didn't curse at my kids. I didn't even curse when I was raising them. You know, and when I did say something, and they was like, "What? I didn't even know you cursed." Like my kids was different. Like, well, mom, did you have to say that? Or if um, I said something derogatory, they would say, "Are you serious, mom?" And I would, try to hold it. But then I have to come back and say, you know what? Can we start over? Because listen, I apologize. I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't have said it like that. I should have, and I shouldn't have said it in front of everybody, or I shouldn't have, and it doesn't take nothing from you to do that. And you're teaching them how to be with their own children. You're teaching them how to be a good mother to their own children. I don't have, my girls haven't given me any grandchildren yet, but my son on here, he did. But, it's just teaching them how to pour into their own children when they have them. You're giving them a little blueprint, even though they're going to have to raise them up their own way. They'll take the ingredients, the good from what you taught them, and they'll use it. The bad, most of the time, they won't use it, because my mother used to make me eat okra and squash and pinto beans. And I said, when I get grown, I'm not fixing none of that for my kids. And I'm not eating that. Because I used to have to sit at the table for hours. And I just used to swallow it like I was going to, And when I got grown, I didn't fix that stuff for my kids. But now Nikki cooked squash for us, and it's good. And I'm going to start drinking some okra water, because they said that okra water is good. You know what I mean? And I do eat beans. I love lima beans. I cook a mean lima beans. I cook a mean butter beans. Nikki cooks some black beans. I'll eat those when we have our tacos or our Mexican night or whatever. But for the most part, I didn't give my kids all that. And one of my friends on Facebook, one day she was on here, she was talking about, she was fixing something for her son, and he was like 6 years old, and she was making him stewed potatoes and okra. I said, honey, I came on there, I said, now listen, you may not like this comment. I said, but that ain't no kid food. Some daggone okra and stewed potatoes, that's something old that your mother made you eat. Don't feed him that. And, I had to laugh at my own self, but I said, that ain't no kid food. No stewed potatoes and okra. And that came from my trauma as a child. My mother would make stewed potatoes and okra. That ain't for no kid. I never got up from the dinner table with everybody else, because I had to sit there. So, I want you guys to know that this is part one. And I think we did a good job on part one, but part two is next week. Being a mother is the most beautiful thing that you can be in the world. That's the first job that we have, of great importance, is raising our children. And I think we're doing a great job. Could we be better? Yes, we all can. Have we made mistakes? Yes, we all have. However, we can ask for forgiveness. Ask the Lord to forgive us. We can forgive ourselves. And we have to ask our kids to forgive us. Apologize. That's what makes you the great mother that you are. That you can realize your mistake, or that you've hurt their feelings, and go back and apologize and let them know I love you and I don't want to do anything to hurt you. I love you. And can we fix this? Can we start over and fix it? Allure is an old soul. I love her, and she is a great mom. She has a beautiful family, and you let her know that Miss Melanie loves her. Let her know that Miss Melanie loves her, and I think she's doing a great job. And you said you made it all. You grew up down south, so them kids had to eat stewed tomatoes and okra. Ah! Oh my God! And now you got my Allure making that stuff. Ask the Lord to show us the errors of our ways. You are absolutely right. Guys, we are coming to the end of part 1. We have had a great time. I really enjoy y'all. I'm telling you. I want y'all to come with y'all questions next week. We're going to ask the Lord to show us the errors of our ways. Yes, we are. Because we're definitely going to be better moms. Yes, we are. You're already a great mom, but you can always be better. Yes, you can. And next week, I got a special guest that's coming on with me, and that's going to be really interesting. Please make sure that you tune in. And don't forget to make sure that you have at least 1 hour of happy. Do something for yourself. Have um, a happy week, and make sure that you make time for yourself. Make time for yourself. This is a new curve. I missed you too. I love you. This is a new curve. And I'm telling you, when you start doing something new for you, after you start doing it a while, it'll just come natural. You'll do something. You'll remember, oh my goodness, I'm getting off of work. I may have had a hectic day. Let me have a ice cream cone. You know what I mean? Let me go to a movie. I'm gonna buy me a bunch of flowers. I'm gonna buy me a bouquet of flowers. Do something to make yourself happy, because if you're happy, if you know how to be happy, you will exude that in everything that you do, every decision that you make, every time you interact with your children. You'll be a little more patient. You'll be able to exude a little more love in a loving, kind way, and you'll be just a better person. It's good for your health as well too. It's good for your health. Frustration and anger is bad for your health. You don't want to have that. Yeah, let's go Eagles. So thank you all for spending this hour with me. Happy hour with Miss Melanie. 1 hour of happy. How do we be a better mom? Are you a good mother? Are you? I believe you are. And I'll see you all next week. I love you, love you, love you. And thank you for joining me at 1 hour of happy. Love you guys. Make sure you have your questions and all of that, because this is an interaction, and I'm having a guest next week. Love you.